And it has become such the fear that was felt by the people in the 50s, the white people in the 50s, felt they're losing control, losing their grip, losing power. And now the same people are feeling the same way these days. And they are so afraid that black people or Hispanic people or Asian people or gay people or whatever are going to take over this country and take it away from the white Anglo-Saxon heterosexual Protestant men that run it and have for 300 years or whatever, that same sense of the 60s that you had in the 60s, the same sense of tumultuousness or strife and unsettledness that you had in those days, I feel is coming back now. I feel that we're getting to a boiling point. We're beginning to, it's not boiling yet, but it's simmering, and I feel this, things like this case, for example, are making things just so much worse, because anyone can look at this case objectively, if anyone can look at it objectively, and from maybe someone who's, I don't know, biracial or someone who's, I don't know, an alien, I don't know, can look at it objectively, and they can say it's obvious that what happened to this man was wrong and that the man who did this should obviously pay. If you can look at it objectively and say that, fine, you know that what happened was wrong. Or the verdict that was carried out was unjust. So knowing that makes the people, that black people specifically, or minorities in general in this case, feel marginalized. It marginalizes the minorities in this country. It says that you, as a minority, do not have equal rights in this country. You do not have the same rights that a white person has, because we all know, and everyone listening to this show, I don't care who you are, if you were to argue with me on the point I'm about to make, you're a moron. Because I think if you look back at our history in this country, you know that if George Zimmerman had been a black man and Trayvon Martin had been a white man or something else besides black, that this case would not have been what it has become. This case would have gone, George Zimmerman would have gone to jail, would have been put away for 20 years, and it would have been done. It would have been done. But because he is a black man that was harmed, and a non-black man that did the harming of this in this case, that wasn't the verdict that was carried out. You know that is the truth, and I know that that's the truth. And so to say that there is no racism in this country, as people are saying these days, and to say that we don't have a disparity of rights or disparity of equal justice in this country, is just the most ignorant thing I've ever heard anyone say. And I hear people say that all the time on BTR, people say it on the radio, the real radio, people say it on television, on commentators or whatever. I read it in articles saying that we're coming into an age of equality and equal justice and race and things of that like that. But no, we're not. No, we're not. And only if you're a minority can you understand that things have not changed. And I've said this on my show before. The difference between the 50s in this country and 2013 is just that the racism that was overt in the 50s and the 60s is now swept under the rug and kept behind closed doors. And it's subtle and surreptitious, I guess is the word I'm looking for. And so it doesn't come out at you right in your face like it once did. These days, it's justices on the bench. It's people. It's attorneys. It's politicians. It's people in control that have a personal racial or racist view on humanity and what is right for this country, and they carry that out in their own personal views that way. So I don't know what you think about it. If you want to call in, the number is 323-843-6160. I'd love to hear what you think about this. We're also going to talk about another case in Florida, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, about a woman who has gotten 20 years for standing up, for doing something similar to what George Zimmerman did, but the only difference is that she's black. And that's not the only difference, but it's the main one. So I'm going to come right back after this. We'll talk about it. Be right back. Okay, we're back. We're talking about the Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman case, race, and other things tonight. If you want to call in during the show, the number is 323-843-6160. David, gets you just a second. I just want to say, darling Nikki, I'd love to talk to you about whatever you're talking about. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I'd love to discuss anything with you on the show or any other time. You can feel free to call into the show tonight or any other time. I can talk about whatever you want. And anybody else, the same goes to you. And I did have somebody in the chat room real quick. I wanted to say Viona Chen is the name they use. They're saying that, what did they say? They said Black American people are the most racist people they've ever met. To her or him or whatever, it is an open and shut case of self-defense, the Trayvon Martin case. I just want to say before I bring David on that I don't think that hold on, sorry. I don't think that, first of all, Black people, this is the thing. I don't know what Viona Chen really is. I mean, it could be a white man. I don't know. But who the fuck knows if Viona Chen is really Asian or whatever case may be. But if you are not a minority in this country, and especially if you're not a Black person, there's unfortunately there's levels of, racism that people are subjected to depending on what race they are, unfortunately. And they're ranked almost in some way. And the race that gets more racism than any other race are the Black people in this country. That's the truth. Black people get more racism than the Hispanic people, even as immigrants, if they're immigrants, or Asian people, or anyone else. So I know this because I've witnessed it and I've experienced it to some degree, even though not really as someone who's truly Black would and does, because someone who walks into a room and they're viewed as Black has a very different experience than someone like myself who's viewed as something besides that usually. So I want to say that to say that people are racist, the Black people are the most racist, no. Black people are probably pretty sensitive, and if you were Black and living in this country, in America, and had been raised in this country, and you see all the negativity that comes down on Black people in this country, you would be sensitive too. And you would understand why it is that people who are Black view this case as a racial issue and not simply a case of self-defense, which it is not. And if you look at the facts, if you really pay attention to it, you will understand what this is really about, and it is not about just self-defense. So I want to see what David has to say and bring him on. Hey, David, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. A little unsettled from the backlash I received about an hour ago, but I'm better now.
Good. Like you said, it's part of the BTR experience. If you haven't had trolls in your room, then you're not a real host. So anyway.
Yeah, it was like my baptismal of fire. So
exactly.
And you told me I looked at 438 live listens. Can you believe that?
No, I believe you.
It was out of control. But this thing is just kind of, I felt sick. Like I said on my show earlier that I was at work when I had my computer today, and I was like, what's everybody talking about? I was kind of looking at the computer and doing some stuff, and it was like, not guilty. And I was like, no. But like you said, too, I'm not surprised, honestly. There's a part of me that thought that the right thing would have been done.
Yes.
But unfortunately, it wasn't. And just all the responses I've read on Facebook and Twitter and some of the different media websites, I'm just astounded that these 6 jurors, it was 5 white women and 1 Hispanic lady, correct?
Right, yeah.
Came to this conclusion. But like you said, in the structure of how the law is written, maybe this is the only thing they had to come up with. When I had heard earlier that they had asked the judge to clarify what manslaughter was, I'm like, oh, they don't want to do second-degree murder, but they want to give a manslaughter. Not that I would have been completely happy with that,
right.
But I think I would have felt a little bit better about, okay, I understood, because when I was watching the trial all this week, I think the prosecution dropped the ball. I don't think they asked the right questions, and I fault the judge to an extent, because when I don't know exactly how it went down, when she